our series on the flood and the standard. Turn your Bibles to Ezekiel chapter 14. Just an overview. Verse 12. The word of the Lord came to me saying, Son of man, when a land sins against me by committing a trespass, and I stretch out my hand against it, and break its staff of bread, and send famine upon it, and cut it off from man and beast. Even if these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they would save but their own lives by their righteousness, their uprightness and right standing with me, says the Lord God. Now, through that chapter, he continues to mention these three men. So we've been looking at the righteousness of Noah, of Daniel, and we said some things about Job. But this morning, we're going to put the microscope on Job. And with the help of the Spirit of God, let's understand Job's righteousness. So let's go to Job chapter 1. Job chapter 1, reading from verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was blameless and upright, and one who reverently feared God and abstained from and shunned evil. Now, historians say that Job lived during the time of Abraham. They think that Moses wrote the book of Job, inspired by the Spirit of God. Moses writes that Job was blameless, upright, and one who reverently feared God and abstained and shunned evil because it was wrong. Now, when you go to verse 8, the Lord said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and an upright man, one who reverently fears God and abstains from and shuns evil? Exactly the same thing that the author of Job wrote. God sees Job exactly the same way. Then you go to chapter 2, and you look at verse 3. This is after Job has lost everything. And the Lord said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless, upright man, one who reverently fears God and abstains from and shuns all evil, because it is wrong. And he still holds fast his integrity, although you moved me against him to destroy him without a cause. 3 times we have the character of Job described as a man that is, in the King James, perfect. A man that is upright, a man that is blameless, and a man that fears God and shuns evil. Man, this is incredible. To comprehend that Job had a sinful nature, because he was born just like all of us. As David said, I was shaped in iniquity from my mother's womb. Yet, despite the fact that he had a sinful nature, Job never yielded to that sinful nature. But he chose to fear God. He chose to live a life of blamelessness and uprightness, and he shunned evil. Now, go to Job chapter 29. At this stage, Job is covered with boils from the top of his head to the soles of his feet. And the Bible says that he would take a piece of pottery and he would start scraping these boils. He's in an unrecognizable state that when these three friends saw him, the Bible says that they were stunned and they sat in silence in his presence for 7 days. And only 7 days later that they begin to start to talk to him. Now, Job chapter 29 verse 1. Job starts to take a trip down memory lane. And this is what you and I need to do. Whenever we're facing some kind of situation, difficulty, a crisis, something's gone wrong, we need to take a trip down memory lane and see where we were and what God did for us and what He brought us through, because He's the same yesterday, today, forever. He does not change, but we do. So let's see now. Job again, verse 1, took up his discussion and said, so the three friends are sitting in front of him, and now Job starts to talk. Oh, that I were as in the months of old, as in the days when God watched over me. When His lamp shone above and upon my head, and by His light I walked through darkness. As I was in the prime ripeness of my days, when the friendship and the counsel of God were over my tent. When the Almighty was yet with me, and my children were about me. When my steps through rich pasturage were washed with butter, and the rock poured out for me streams of oil. So now in those first 6 verses, Job is reflecting upon the glorious days of his life, when God had blessed him mightily. And you can read about those blessings. He's busy reflecting on how it used to be compared to what it is now. Because now he's lost everything. And now he's sick. But listen. He's lost everything materially. He's sick in his body, but he's not sick in his soul. That's what we talk about when we say you can be up in spirit while you're down in body. It's a sad thing that some Christians measure the state of their soul by the condition of their body. Not Job. Job is in this physical, terrible, afflicted state, but he's got a sound mind, and he's going to take a trip down memory lane, and he's going to remember the good old days. We need to do the same. Oh, church, let's never take the goodness of God over our lives for granted. Never. Now, verse 7 is continuing to reflect. When I went out to the gate of the city, when I prepared my seat in the street, the broad place for the council at the city's gate. So, Job reflects on the fact that not only had God blessed him, but God had given him the status of being a judge in society. In fact, if you go to verse 25, you get some detail. He says, I chose their way for them and sat as their chief and dwelt like a king among his soldiers, like one who comforts mourners. So Job, his righteousness, God exalted this man in the society that he lived in. And he has the authority to be at the gate of the city and to be a judge. Now look at verse 8. The young men would see me and they would hide. That's authority. Man, what kind of reputation was that? That when the young men saw Job, they would hide. Why? Because in case they had something wrong in their lives and they were feeling guilty, they were feeling convicted in his presence. That's a righteous man. That's a righteous man when people are convicted when you're in their presence and he hasn't even said anything. They would hide and they would avoid him. The aged rose up and stood to give honor. What we're looking at is the righteousness of Job. Verse 9. The princes refrained from talking and laid their hands on their mouths. Princes, those who had authority over realms, when they were in this righteous man's presence, they never opened their mouths. They just sat and listened. What we're seeing is that the righteousness of Job caused Job to have great honor and great respect. Verse 10. The voices of the nobles were hushed, and the tongues cleaved to the roof of their mouths. There were different ranks of society. Here we have princes, here we have nobles. The nobles didn't open their mouths either. They would just go quiet in Job's presence. Verse 11. When the ear heard. Now, he's not talking about those in authority, not talking about princes and nobles. He's talking about any person who has an ear. When the ear heard, it called me happy and blessed me. And when the eye saw, it testified for me. So imagine Job walking the streets and anybody walks past him, sees him, begins to testify. What a righteous man you are. What a man you are. Worthy of all the honor and all the respect for the way that you walk with your God. Verse 21. Men listened to me and waited and kept silence for my counsel. After I spoke, they did not speak again, and my speech dropped upon them like a refreshing shower. They waited for me as for the rain, and they opened their mouths wide as for the spring rain. I smiled on them when they had no confidence, and their depression did not cast down the light of my countenance. I chose their way for them and sat as their chief and dwelt like a king among his soldiers, like one who comforts the mourners. Now listen, Job was a Gentile. Wasn't a Jew. He was a Gentile. And he had this kind of righteousness that drew men and women of all stations of life around him. That these men and women would come to him as a righteous man and they would seek counsel. They would look to him for counsel like the farmer looked for the rain. What a man. What a man. Now, in verse 12, I've just given you a breakdown of Job's reputation. What others thought about him. They saw this righteous man, this perfect, blameless man of God. And in verse 12, Job is now going to explain what was it about his life that caused him to be seen by man as a righteous man, by God as a righteous man. Verse 12. Because I delivered the poor who cried, the fatherless, and him who had none to help him. I delivered the poor who cried, the fatherless, and those who had none to help him. Verse 13. The blessing of him who was about to perish came upon me. And I caused the widow's heart to sing for joy. He would go to someone that's dying, and the one that's dying would bless him. But you can see why. Look who Job carried on his heart. He carried the poor. He carried the orphans. He carried all of those that had no support system in society. He carried them. And he tried to do what he could to bring relief and to assist them. He made the widow so happy by the way he helped her that she would be singing for joy. Remember, the widow is someone who has lost her support system. And Job would be sensitive to that. And he would step in and provide some kind of support. Verse 14. I put on righteousness, and it clothed me, or clothed itself with me, and my justice was like a robe and a turban or a diadem or a crown. In other words, he epitomized justice. As he sat in the gate of the city and he dealt with issues, he had the reputation of being fair, righteous, and just. 15. I was eyes to the blind and feet to the lame. He had a sensitivity towards those that were disabled. And he would compensate for their handicap and help them and assist them. Verse 16. I was a father to the poor and the needy. The cause of him I did not know, I searched out. He didn't wait for the need to come to him. He was looking for the need. Verse 17, I broke the jaws, the big teeth of the unrighteous, and plucked the prey out of his teeth. In other words, You'd be sitting at the gate and you would be presented with cases of injustice, abuse, people that have been badly treated, victims of exploitation and of corruption. And he had a reputation that he would bring justice in such a way that those that had caused the abuse, that had caused the affliction, they would be punished. They would be sentenced. So the people had the confidence that you could go to Job, because Job would make sure that you got justice. Well, now he continues to reflect, and he says in verse 18, "Then I said, I shall die besides my nest, and I shall multiply my days as the sand. My root is spread out and open to the waters, and the dew lies all night upon my branch. My glory and honor are fresh in me, being constantly renewed, and my bow gains ever new strength in my hand." He's reflecting of how it used to be. These are all reflections on the good old days. And he talks about his reputation, and he talks about his righteousness. Now, in your own time, you can read chapter 30, where he reflects on his present condition and that he has lost all his credibility and reputation. I'm not going to deal with that. I want us to go to chapter 31. In chapter 31, Job continues to search his heart, and he does introspection. He's trying to find out, because God did not explain this to him. He's trying to find out, why have I lost everything? Why am I covered in these waters? Chapter 31, verse 1. The righteousness of Job before the Lord. I dictated a covenant, an agreement to my eyes. How then could I look lustfully upon a girl? Let me remind you, he's in this state. He's in this state, and his wife comes to him and says, "Job, are you going to maintain your integrity? Rather curse God and die." He's in this worst condition ever in his life. And here comes the one that he would have possibly thought would come and stand by his side and support him at this time. He's been happily married, blessed mightily by the hand of God. And now his wife says, "Why don't you curse God and die?" He has to rebuke her and say, "You foolish woman, should we not be receiving good from the hand of God and evil?" And the Bible says that in all that Job said, he did not sin. Well, I don't know what condition his marriage was in after that. But he is faithful in his marriage, because he says he made a covenant with his eyes that he would not lust after another woman. Realizing that there's a flood around him of all kinds of sexual immorality, all kinds of sexual perversion. But there's something about this man that Jesus mentions as it was in the beginning. Job doesn't need the law. He's just living by the way it was in the beginning. See, that's where righteousness begins. The way that God started it off in the beginning. As He took one man, one woman, and He blessed them. So Job sees his marriage as himself and his wife, and they are blessed. And he makes a covenant. And I don't find anywhere that they got divorced. And he is still married when God adds everything back to him double. So wow, what kind of marriage did they have after that? You just begin to wonder. Verse 2. For what portion should I have? What portion should I have from God above if I were lewd? And what heritage from the Almighty on high? Does not calamity befall the unrighteous and disaster the workers of iniquity? Now just be reminded that God said to Satan that you had removed my hand upon Job without a cause. So Job was righteous and Job did nothing to deserve that he had lost everything. And it's important because there's a teaching that goes around that Job says the thing that I fear has come upon me. And they say the reason why Job lost everything is because he had this fear in his heart. That's not true. Job had one fear, and that is he feared God. Reverently honored and respected God. But because God didn't explain himself to Job, Job in his own humanity is wondering and trying to reason and perceive what is going on. So when you read, the thing that I fear has come upon me, that's not a statement of truth. It's Job's perception. Understand that? All right. Verse 4. Does not God see my ways and count all my steps? Verse 5. If I have walked with falsehood or vanity, or if my foot has hastened to deceit, oh, let me be weighed in a just balance, and let him weigh me, that God may know my integrity. Ooh, how's that for righteousness? I'm willing to let God put my life in a balance and weigh my integrity, weigh my righteousness. If my step has turned out of God's way, and my heart has gone the way my eyes invited, and in any spot has stained my hands with guilt, then let me sow and let another eat. Wow. Let the produce of my field or my offspring be rooted out. If my heart has been deceived, and I have made a fool by a woman, or if I have covetously laid wait at my neighbor's door until his departure, then let my wife grind the meal like a bondslave for another, and let others bow down upon her. For adultery is a heinous and a chief crime, and iniquity to demand action by the judges and punishment. Notice how many times you're going to see the word if. This is the righteousness of Job. He feared God, and he's reflecting, he's doing introspection, and he's wondering if. Not that he has, but he's willing to search himself so deeply and ask questions. done this, then let God do that. There's no pride here. This is broken humility. Broken humility. And God is listening to everything that Job is saying. And God does not answer one word until chapter 38. Alright? Now watch. Verse 12. For uncontrolled passion is a fire which consumes to abandon, to destruction, to ruin, and the place of final torment. That fire once lighted could rage until all is consumed, and would burn to the root all my life's increase. So you can see that Job is very conscious that he needs to please God in his relationship with his wife. He needs to be a pure-hearted husband. That tells you something. That marriage is very, very important to God. Heterosexual marriage is very important to God. And Satan hates it, and he's perverted it. Verse 13. If I have despised and rejected the cause of my manservant or my maidservant when they contended or brought a complaint against me, what then shall I do when God rises up to judge? When he visits to inquire of me, what shall I answer him? Watch this. This is awesome. Did not he who made me in the womb make my servant, and did not one fashion us both in the womb? What's he saying? He's saying, I'm no better than my servants. I'm created in the image of God. They created in the image of God. How dare I exalt myself above them and exploit them? He's saying, God, I just hope that I treated all the servants in my household fairly and justly. That they had no grounds of accusation against me. Yeah. Verse 16. If I had withheld from the poor and the needy what they desired, or had caused the eyes of the widow to look in vain, or had eaten my morsel alone, and have not shared it with the orphans. Oh, out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. In the previous chapter 29, he's busy reflecting on how he looked after the fatherless, he looked after the widows, he looked after those in need. Now he's searching his heart, and he's just hoping that he is blameless in this area as well. This must be important to God. It's very important to God how the widows and the orphans and the poor and those that don't have a support system on their own, how they are treated. Job is putting his righteous life into a balance, and he's mentioning the characteristics of his righteousness. And he's saying, Lord, weigh me. Weigh me. Now you know why James 2:27 says that pure and undefiled religion is to look after the widows and the orphans and keep yourself unspotted. That is righteousness. Okay? Verse 18. No, but from my youth the fatherless grew up with me as a father, and I have been the widow's guide from my mother's womb. Isn't it awesome? and he reasons. And he asks the question, if I have, then he gets a conviction. No, I haven't. I have looked after the fatherless. Come on. This is what happens during our times of worship. Especially when we get to the table. Examine our hearts. Take our righteousness, which we claim, but with the righteousness of Christ. And then can we put it into God's scale and let Him weigh it? And then can we with conviction and authority say, I have been obedient. I have done what He told me to do. Some of us are afraid to do that. We'll rather stay away from the table. You know. Watch. Verse 19. Another if. If I have seen anyone perish for want of clothing, or any poor person without a covering. He's asking the question, have I neglected anybody that didn't have enough clothes? That must be important to God. Clothing the naked. Come on. Verse 20. If his loins have not blessed me for clothing them, and if he was not warmed with the fleece of my sheep, if I have lifted my hand against the fatherless, when I saw that the judges would be favorable and be my help at the council gate. He's asking the question, did I take a bribe when I sat in the gates of the city? Was I more concerned about getting the favor from my other judges than judging justly every situation? He said, God, put my judging in your balance and see if I pass. And then he says, God, verse 22, let my shoulder fall away from my shoulder blade, and my arm be broken from its socket. Judge me. Judge me, God. This man had an intimate relationship with God. That he would invite God's judgment upon his life. Come on. He's picking at the boils. And he's inviting God to bring judgment upon his life if that's what's necessary. Verse 23. For calamity from God was a terror to me, and because of his majesty, I could not endure to face him and could do nothing. What's verse 24? If I have made gold my trust, and hope, or have sent to find gold, you are my confidence and my security. Now he's assessing everything that he once had. And now he's lost it. Did he lose it because he trusted in that more than God? We don't know. But his humility is just continuously introspective. The heart of this man is incredible. Let me just ask myself, was money my God? Verse 25. If I rejoice because my wealth was great, and because my powerful hand